It's time we talk about Leafeon. Everyone's favorite plant, cat, fox, thing. Leafeon comes from an era when people actually still liked the Pokemon games. Isn't that nuts? Between its adorable little plant girl vibes and its fearsome ability to protect its friends, it's extremely hard not to love this Pokemon. So let's get into 40 things you might not have known about Leafeon. Leafeon was designed by Atsuko Nishida. The name Leafeon may be a combination of leaf and eon, which is defined as an immeasurably long period of time, possibly referring to how long evolution takes naturally. Eon is a suffix all Eevee evolutions share and was Eevee's English prototype name. Leafeon's Japanese name is Leafia. The Spanish and Italian versions of Leafeon retain its English name. Also, in Hindi its name is just Leaf Eevee, which I thought was pretty funny. Leafeon bears many similarities to cats and foxes, from their appearances, behaviors such as tree climbing, and even in their cries, as Leafeon's cry sounds similar to a cat's meow or a fox's chirp. Its coloration appears to be inspired by the markings found on animals like the Siamese cat or the red fox. Leafeon's weight is listed at 56.2 pounds or 25.5 kilograms. That's around the same weight as a husky, or about 25 medium-sized pineapples. Because it's overgrown with leaves and sprouts, that's right, that's foliage, not fur. It also has traits of plants, such as the ability to utilize photosynthesis. Additionally, the brown marks on its paws give the appearance that they were buried in soil, like a plant. Some of Leafeon's Pokedex entries say it is using photosynthesis to produce clean air, while others state that it is wrapped in clear air due to its photosynthesis, which is just a bit odd considering air is generally clear on its own. All of its Pokedex entries until Pokemon Sun and Moon mention its ability to use photosynthesis in some way. Pokemon Sun still mentions it, while Moon is the first to break the cycle. Its Pokedex entry in Pokemon Moon states that younger Leafeons smell like fresh grass, while older ones smell like fallen leaves. Makes sense, I guess. In the Pokedex, it is repeatedly stated that Leafeon does not like to fight. However, Ultra Sun suggests that, if need be, Leafeon will sharpen its tail into a blade to protect its friends. I don't know if its tail is made of leaf or skin, but I'm not sure how you would sharpen either of those things. On the other hand, the entry from Pokemon Shield says that the tail is already sharp enough to slice through large trees. Its entry in Pokemon Sword is the first to introduce the idea that people love a good whiff of Leafeon. Enough so that they made a perfume out of it. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are the only duo of games to share a Dex entry rather than having split entries for Leafeon. Just another reason to throw them in the garbage. The entry in Legends Arceus says that it's not real leaves growing out of its fur, but merely fur containing cells similar to those of plants. Considering the era that these games are set in, I'm not really sure how they were able to figure that out. Prehistoric microscope, maybe? Leafeon and Glaceon are the only evolutions to not be seen evolving from Eevee on screen in the animated series. Leafeon made its animated series debut in Double Time Battle Training, where it defeated Dawn's Cyndaquil and Mamoswine in a practice battle alongside Zoe's Kirlia. An error occurred in this episode when Zoe sends out Leafeon and Kirlia, as Dawn says, "You got a new Pokemon," when she actually had 2 new additions to her roster. Leafeon later reappeared in Coming Full Festival Circle, where it was used by Zoe in the semifinals of the Sinnoh Grand Festival, alongside her Mismagius, where it went up against Nando's, Kricketune, and Lopunny. Although Leafeon was weakened by Kricketoone's Bug Buzz, it was eventually able to strike back thanks to an incredible Aerial Ace Psywave combination move that allowed it to grow wings and hit back with Leaf Blade. This episode marks the first time in the animated series that a main character has made it to the finals of a major tournament. Before this, the furthest Ash had ever advanced in a tournament was when he had made it to the top 8 of the Silver Conference and the Evergrande Conference, while the furthest May had ever advanced to was when she made it to the top 4 of the Kanto Grand Festival. There was an error in this episode that occurred during Leafeon's Psywave and Aerial Ace combo, where Nando's Kricketune charges X Scissor twice. Also, when Leafeon is using Leaf Blade and Kricketune uses X Scissor, the leaf on Leafeon's head disappears. Pop quiz! As of Generation 9, there is only one Fire-type move that Leafeon can learn. Do you know which one it is? Leave your guess in the comments below and I'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. Leafeon was originally intended to appear in Generation 2. The very first iteration of Leafeon appeared in a demo version of Pokemon Gold and Silver that was revealed at the 1997 Space World event, though its design was drastically different and it debuted under the name Reefy. Eevee was unable to evolve into Leafeon via the Leaf Stone until Generation 8. Prior to that, the only way to evolve it was by leveling Eevee near a moss rock. Eevee will always evolve into Leafeon when leveled near a moss rock, even if the evolutionary requirements for Umbreon, Espeon, or Sylveon have been met. Despite being released after the Gen 4 games where Leafeon made its debut, it is impossible to evolve Eevee into Leafeon in Heart Gold and Soul Silver due to the lack of a moss rock in the Johto and Kanto regions. The same applies for Magnezone, Probopass, and Glaceon. All have to be traded from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum in order to be obtained. According to the Diamond and Pearl Pokedex, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Umbreon have identical footprints. Despite Eevee being obtainable before the Pokemon League and Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, it cannot evolve into Leafeon or Glaceon until after the Elite Four is defeated. This is because Pinwheel Forest, where the Moss Rock is located, cannot be reached until that point in the game, as the entrance to Sky Arrow Bridge is blocked. Leafeon could be obtained in Pokemon Black and White through a game in the Dream World titled Play to Befriend a Pokemon. The game was a simple brick breaker, and upon completing 4 levels of the game, players could select one of Eevee's 7 evolutions to transfer to their copy of Black or White. However, the game was only available from March 28, 2011 to May 5, 2011. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are the only games since Diamond and Pearl, spin-offs included, in which it is impossible to obtain Leafeon, as it is not present in the game. Generation 8 was the first generation to have Wild Leafeon. None of the prior mainline games had them available as wild encounters. Leafeon appears in 21 different Pokemon spin-off games, as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Leafeon has the highest defense stat of all the evolutions, but it also has the lowest special defense. Leafeon has been featured on 20 different cards since it debuted in the Majestic Dawn expansion of the Pokemon trading card game. On the normal Leafeon card, not the Level X version, that was released with the Majestic Dawn expansion, aka card number 7 out of 100 in the English version, it has Leaf Guard as one of its attacks, even though Leaf Guard is actually categorized as an ability in the games. The Japanese expansion featuring this card is called Dawn Dash. Normal Leafeon, not its GX form, only appears once throughout the Sun and Moon sets, and it was as a promo card. This card was one of the SM Black Star promos included in the Tag Team Powers collection, released March 27, 2020. In Japan, it was one of 7 possible SMP promotional cards available in promotional packs awarded to participants of the Pokemon Card Gym tournaments during September, October, and November of 2019. The Japanese print features the Pokemon Card Gym logo. Possibly the grumpiest depiction of Leafeon is from its SVP Promo 68 card. In Japan, this card was given away as part of the Yu Nagaba and Pokemon card game merchandise campaign. Customers could get a collaboration promo card for every 1,000 yen worth of eligible products purchased at Pokemon Centers, Pokemon Stores, or the Pokemon Center online website in Japan, up to a limit of 10 cards. The cards were distributed at random. People who managed to pre-order a copy of the Yu Nagaba and Pokemon card game Evolution Special Box, which was allocated by lottery on the Pokemon Center online, also received 4 random promotional cards in their shipment. It's time to reveal the answer to the trivia question from earlier. The only Fire-type move that Leafeon can learn is Sunny Day. Did you get it right? Let me know. So there you have it, folks. 40 facts about your favorite evolution. Unless your favorite is Vaporeon, in which case,
may your soul be condemned to the depths of...
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something new, I'd really appreciate if you'd leave a like on the video, as it really helps me out. Also, if you decide to try making your own art in this style, I'd love to see the result. Feel free to tag me on Instagram or send me a DM with your finished piece. Until then, stay awesome, stay weird. I'll catch you in the next one.